Welcome back. Before the break, we were talking to our guest today, Rukia Ullah, a fashion designer, about her work and about her journey. And the journey still continues. She's still young, and she will one day achieve her target, inshallah. Rukia, we are going to show to our viewers some of your work right now. And can you describe them in your words?
The collection is, if you look at the images, the first few images are of Alchemy, the fashion show that I did in the South Bank.
South Bank, yes. When was that?
The year before last.
2012?
Yes, I think.
Or 13, maybe.
I think 2013.
Yeah.
Yes. So Bangladesh had a segment. They had other designers along as well. But my collection was on the runway. It did quite well with the audience, and I had a quite good feedback. Alhamdulillah, this was good. I've showcased my kurtas, like the main ones, inspired by rickshaw prints. And then if you look at the other images, are the photography images are the professional ones I did. I've used a non-Asian model because the idea is that the idea is that it's more mainstream. I mean, it's inspired by Bangladesh, but it shouldn't just be Bangladeshis. Yeah, so it shouldn't just be worn by Bangladeshis, it should be worn by everybody, pretty much. That's the idea. Yeah, so they're the images, that's the whole collection.
Okay, good. We were talking while we were off air, the impact of catwalks on the fashion industry. How do you see that? What is the impact?
It's a huge impact. It's a very big one. People spend a lot of money on catwalk. There is a season catwalk pretty much in every single central city of other countries. You have New York, you have China, Hong Kong, Paris, everywhere. London is also a main one. We go by like a sort of a set.
Season.
Yeah. Season, but then New York will have their first show, and then London will have theirs the next week, and then Paris will have theirs, and then Milan. It's run over 3-4 days, and there's I think 100 designers. There's a fee to it. The British Council funds it, but I think you'd have to also put some money towards it. It's because they spent so much money because of the impact it has on their clothing. Because the audience itself isn't public. There is no public person who can buy a ticket. You would have to be given a ticket by the designer.
To be invited.
Exactly, you'd have to be invited. The people they invite would be bloggers, they'd be buyers, they'd be celebrities. These are the people who have influence on the outside world. Buyers, because they can get your clothes in each store, online, anywhere you want. Celebrities will wear your clothes, and obviously whichever celebrity is loved, the people that love them would want to wear your clothes. And then you have bloggers. Bloggers are just normal people who wear high-profile clothing and look great in them. And they would blog about your clothes. They would write a review about your clothes. And your audience will sort of come back and say, you know, this is what I like about your blog. And they will remember you because the blogger. That makes sense. So these are the people who attend, and these are the people who can really make it for you. If a big profile celebrity wore your clothes, then you've done really well. So Emilio, recently, he's had his collection, one of his dresses worn by Cheryl Cole on the X Factor. And that was a big achievement for him because she's a big profile celebrity. Celebrity especially on the X Factor, because each magazine looks at what celebrities wear, and the magazine will then put that image in their magazines and write the designer's name. And then you have retailers, the commercial retailers, who maybe will then make manipulate like a cheaper version of your dress that young people can wear because they can't afford the high profile luxury designs. So it's like a cycle. But if these people don't go for your designs, then you've not done well. These people are the people who will judge it for you, and they're the one that will put it out for you. Yeah, it's a big thing.
It's a big, huge circle that rolls, and a lot of people are benefited.
Yeah, so I mean, like Burberry's collection of ponchos, they have lots of designs, but they had a lot of ponchos, and those ponchos had a big impact because that was a trend that they started. And now if you look at retail stores, ponchos are everywhere. People are wearing ponchos all the time because Burberry did this collection about 6 months ago.
You have preempted the answers. So my question was do these celebrity designers, do they have any impact on ethnic designs?
It depends on if they've been inspired by it. I think Topshop did a collection around Moroccan mosaics. It was about holiday, about the sun, but I took it as an Islamic one because the prints were inspired by Islamic geometric shapes, and as my Moroccan, a lot of tiles and things like that are Islamic. But they didn't put Islamic in there, they put Moroccan. So it's the way that you've interrupted.
You look at it,
You look at it basically, and it depends on the designer. Emilio, he's inspired by his culture quite a bit. His background is Spanish, so he will look at Spanish flirts, he will look at the silhouettes, the colors, and he will make it into his thing.
And there are some Islamic designs in Spain because of the history.
Yeah. I mean, you've had, there's one Muslim designer who done one mainstream, I think her name was Banja, I'm not too sure. She's a Muslim designer. She showcased in Dubai Fashion Week, and then she did her debut collection in London Fashion Week. I'm not sure if she's done the recent one, but she was the first Muslim woman to do it in London.
Great. Fashion designing, see, obviously fashion design does not always mean clothes, isn't it? See? But
No.
people design furniture, people design
That's furniture
curtains,
design.
and people design jewelry and bottles and for perfumes and all that, see. So why is that whenever somebody says fashion design, it comes to, generally people think of clothes. And then again, fashion design, I've not finished. Then again, those fashion designers always well known that fashion design means designing for females, see.
I think, from how I see it, fashion design is a lot to do with clothes, because if you look at furniture and stuff like that, I think there's a different name, interior design. But fashion design, it can be in any form. Like, I didn't study fashion design, but I've taken upon myself to design clothing that I believe will do well. You could go into pattern cutting, which is very much a starting point for fashion, because you have to learn to cut silhouettes, no patterns and things like that to design clothing. But I think to be a fashion designer, you'd have to take it to a unique point where someone else isn't doing it. And if you've done that, then you've met the needs of the customer, if that makes sense.
What qualities or talents does one need to become a fashion designer?
I think unique ideas. I think these days, designers themselves don't do the cutting. They have seamstresses. They have pattern cutters within their studios. You have to have an idea. I think if you have an idea and you can sell it, there are other people who can help you to build the idea. That's really what it is, I think.
In the fashion trade, do you think, like people who cannot write, but they've got the money, they can buy writings written by ghostwriters? In the fashion world, is something like that there?
Well, what do you mean if you've not got the skills?
Yes, but you're still it sells.
Yeah,
it sells in your name.
I think Victoria Beckham, she's selling her name. she's a singer, and she does very well in fashion now. She is showcased in New York Fashion Week many times. I don't think she has the knowledge of pattern cutting, but yet she has the ideas.
She's a celebrity.
She's a celebrity, she has an influence, but she also has ideas, and her clothes do well because there's a unique selling point to her clothes. There's a thing that her clothes do that women like, it's the opposite of modesty, basically, I think. It's on the sort of skinny, firm dresses, silhouettes in a certain way. It's something that appeals to her customers, and then she obviously does it quite well. She's not got the pattern cutting skills, but she's got the idea, she's got the money.
Yep. Why is fashion designing, I'm in dresses and clothes and all that, is always marketed to the people who look most beautiful? Your models, they are possibly they have got the best bodies to show the apparel. See. Why is it? I mean, there are a lot of fat, fleshy, healthy people around the city?
I think it's to do with what your target audience is. If you've, people dress for a certain woman. People design. A designer will design for a woman. Yep. They will say, I like my woman to look like this, I want her to look like that. But I think it's become a common thing to use skinny models is because it's quite a hard one, a hard one to take in.
It's targeted to the young population, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's because the garment will probably fall better on a smaller person,
on a young body,
a thinner person. And if that's your market, then that's what you would present it on. Whereas if you said to me, my market is a woman with some curves, she needs to have some meat, needs to be fat, they will then present their clothes on a woman that looks like that. It's because that's their woman, that's their muse. Like my collection, I don't see a skinny model. My collection is, I like the idea, I'm not too pretty. I like quite a bit of a masculine, I'm quite like a male kind of grunge look. I like, if you look at collections by Spitalfields, All Saints, those type of collection, is to do with what your market is and what you see and who you see wearing them.
Yeah, but good fashion designers also create a market, isn't it? See,
yeah,
they
you
create
can do
a kind of taste.
Yeah, you can set the trend. You can do. It's how you sort of visualize your clothing, and if you don't feel happy, which most people don't, on a bigger woman, they would put it on a skinny woman because it's more appealing, if that makes sense. It's hard one to digest. People would argue that it's not right, but to be honest, designing, I feel my garment falls better on a thinner woman. It's just the way the fashion world is, I'm afraid, and I know it might be one that people will probably argue a lot, but it's just how I see my clothes. I see big women wearing them as well. I'm not saying they shouldn't wear them, but it's a hard one. It's a real hard
you
one.
can't stop people from wearing your designed clothes, you see, but the point is that out there in the market there are people not of the same age, you see. There are people, older people, middle-aged people, younger people, pre-teens, and then there are people because of good health conditions and development in medical sciences. People are living longer. So there is a great market, a big market out there of older ladies and older gentlemen.
Yeah, I think it's just how you see who wears your clothes. And if you see a doctor wearing your clothes you designed for their practicality, being a doctor, what does it mean? Being in a surgery, things like that. How would your clothes be practical for their daily living? And if you think it can, you present that, you market that in that certain way.
Practicality plus good look, isn't it?
Not always good looks. I don't think.
No, not his good look or her good look, but I'm talking about how the dress looks. The shirt.
You'd want the garments to look good. You want the garments to appeal to people, and that's how it appeals. It's the appeal factor. Yeah, I know it's a hard one, and you probably get a lot of argument to that.
Well, this is my point, that the fashion designers always seem to fashion their design.
Yeah, but I don't agree with girls being really, really thin. A normal healthy size, that's what you want. You want a healthy person. You don't want to give off an idea that someone is to be slim to wear your clothes.
Well, who is demanding that the model should be so thin?
It's just a stereotype. When a young girl looks like a magazine, and then the person that they've got to model, if she's skin thin, then the girl reading the magazine, like looking at the image, is going to say, I need to be that thin to wear that garment. You just need to look healthy.
Young girls are starving themselves to be like that.
I don't think that's right. I think they should be healthy. You shouldn't just stick with one certain size, but I think it should be about your clothing and how you see it and how you want to market it. But it should just be that one idea that you should need to be, stick thin to wear certain clothes.
Thank you very much for being with us, Rukia, and we hope that you will get a long way and your models will walk the way other models have walked in London and Milan and New York and
Inshallah.
Paris catwalks, inshallah. Thank you very much for being with us, and it was a
Thank you for
pleasure
having me.
meeting you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, viewers, for being with us, and we hope that you have enjoyed this show as much as we have. And next week, same time, same channel, we'll meet again. In the meantime, take care.